And in the news this morning, the Hajj board has given assurances of ensuring proper coordination in future Hajj events as it airlifts the last batch of pilgrims to Saudi Arabia.
Although it has managed to airlift about 5,000 pilgrims this year, the board has suffered a few setbacks with its inability to airlift all prospective pilgrims and some pilgrims being repatriated by the Saudi officials. The last batch of pilgrims are expected to leave this morning. Joy News' Matilda Womega visited the Hajj village here in Accra.
The 12th flight, which is the last flight for this year's Hajj, will be taking off from the Kotoka International Airport at 3 a.m. on Monday. Already we've been told a number of will be pilgrims will not make it to Saudi Arabia this year. What exactly has necessitated that? We'll be finding that from the Hajj board and also interact with a few of these will be pilgrims to find out how the process has been for them this year.
About 3 days back, it was difficult because there were many people around and we were finding things difficult. Me, I even left home, and yesterday I was called to come that my visa is ready. Okay, in fact, if they know they are taking about 1,000 people, they should let the public know. We are at this limitation. So we have had it, and they give out their names so that the rest will have time to leave and not to stay here and be wasting their time.
Yeah. I think the Hajj board, they are not coordinated. When they give allocation, they should coordinate it. If you are agent one, you're supposed to bring the number of people they want. So if they get the right number, they should stop. So that the process, everybody can go.
Almost just say no much. 5,000. Na agents na almost oduru 10. Just say no mum 500. O just can na kwa koduru 500 ne pasca dia. Just say no wonjai. Na obi ba na osanaji so can because of the profit. O yes I know ebe for confused ba. Anuntina asam na sisa.
So I've been speaking to this gentleman. He has his boarding pass and everything set for him to join the last flight, which will be leaving at dawn at 3 a.m. Their main concern is that the Hajj board should ensure that there is proper coordination. They should stick to the exact number of people that they want to airlift to Saudi Arabia. So it will address issues regarding people who will be disappointed here.
So that suggests that they should be probably up in the air somewhere.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
We're receiving reports that they actually left at about 3:30 a.m.
Yeah. Okay, we'll be cross-checking and be bringing a lot more details on that very one. But meanwhile, Deputy Communications Director of the Hajj Board, Mohammed Amin Lamte, has been responding to some of the concerns these would-be pilgrims have been raising.
The agreement we had with our airline partners flying us was 11 flights. But with this issues that I've just enumerated, we've decided to have the last flight, and that is what we're going through now. And hopefully by 3:30 a.m. at dawn of Monday, we should be airborne. So the normal situation here is that every year we have similar problem.
So if we have it every year, must it be recurring?
No, Matilda,
is that what we are saying?
It is normal with operations because if you have
why do you say it's normal when people stay here for?
Let me explain to you. Okay. If you have somebody paying without a passport, the person will pay in advance, but there's no passport. The person will pay and then now go looking for passport. The passport might come in late. But that time, maybe you've gone far into your visa issuance process. Secondly, somebody would have paid with a passport, but the passport could be defective. So when you send it to the visa section at the Saudi embassy, it will be rejected. Somebody might also pay with a passport. You take it to the Saudi embassy. In the process, it will be rejected for no reason. They only know that. So you need to bring the passport here for ratification before it will be sent back.
Exactly. So I am asking, why don't you go through all this process? Those who pay in, why don't you ensure that they have their passports ready, their passport hasn't expired? Why don't you do all those checks before you make them make payments?
We are not Saudi embassy. They have time for issuing visa.
Exactly. I understand you are not an embassy, but as a council who is mandated to see to all this, that should also be one of the key things you should be looking at.
You and I have been going to the American embassy. A lot of people go there, a lot will be rejected based on certain reasons that they will not explain to you. some of the things they will tell you.
But the key thing, like getting your passport, is a fundamental thing. So having your passport, making sure that it's not expired. These are the first.
Exactly. So now you cannot blame it on the Hajj board.
I am blaming it on the Hajj board because you allow them to make payments before all these checks are done.
No. Let me tell you one thing about the system. The system is that you cannot deny someone who has gone through passport acquisition, deny the person for paying. So what we think that would help the person is that, yes, go ahead and do the payment. And
it doesn't mean you are more interested in the money than...
No, we are rather being supportive, because at the end of the day, if you want to restrict it to only those who have passport, then a lot of people might not travel.
What becomes the fate of those who didn't make it?
No, the fate,
That's the process.
No, the refund had already started, I think, 3 days ago. Some have been given their money. Some also said that, look, they want to keep the money for next year. And some who couldn't get the money, the chairman spoke to them yesterday. He apologized sincerely that he was a challenge beyond his control.
Now, fishermen at Jamestown, a coastal town in Accra, are counting their losses after the coast was hit by raging sea waves for several hours.
A storm that struck the coastline on Sunday has left the fishing community in a state of shock. The fishermen are asking for support to get their businesses back on track. Jennifer Ikwama was there and reports.
Storm that lasted for several hours destroyed many canoes belonging to the fishermen. When the news team arrived at the scene, we saw fishermen struggling to haul up the wreckage of a canoe. The sight of debris littered over the coastline and the look on the faces of these fishermen depicted that all was not well. They explained that this is the worst storm they have experienced in recent times.
All our boats have been destroyed. The sea has destroyed all of them. After the storm, we've been trying to use knives to cut away the debris, but this storm is not a regular occurrence, and it has destroyed all our properties, boats, nets, outboard motors. In fact, it's destroyed everything.
I'm the chief fisherman for Sempe. This morning, we're hit by the sea waves. It destroyed our canoes. We can't find about 5 of them. We are in a deep crisis. We need help from philanthropists and government. Our properties worth 50,000 Ghana cedis have been destroyed, and we don't have money to bear the cost. This association is registered, and our fishermen pay their taxes. We need help, because this is our only source of livelihood. Else we will go hungry.
The man for Osukinkawe, Henry Kote, inspected the damage and said the assembly will meet with the fishermen to determine what level of compensation can be offered.
Authority here that covers around this area, through them, the government can assist them. Because we have to know the number of people that have been affected by the disaster. The assembly will take care of all those things, and then they will forward it to the government. The central government will do their work.
Meanwhile, coastal and marine expert Nana Kumaminta has warned fisherfolk and those living along the coast to brace themselves for more of such occurrences.
We are currently in the bath season, and the bath season is from now till the end of October. So definitely they should brace themselves up, and then they should have that knowledge of the environment that we are seeing. This thing happened in February as well, but that section at Fuveme is within the fragile coastal sections of Ghana. So that area is already low. If it's experiencing this wave period and then high wave height, there's definitely going to be an incident of tidal wave. And currently we are in the rough season, so definitely they should prepare themselves.
For Joy News, Jennifer Cromwell.
Now, scores of residents of Fuveme in the Keta municipality of the Volta region say they are devastated after being hit by high sea waves there.
According to the residents, they have on many occasions appealed to government for an urgent attention to be paid to their situation, but nothing has been done about their plight. They have asked for a sea defense wall to protect the coast and have also rejected the call by the MP and the Assembly to relocate.
Residents of Puvema in the Keta municipality of the Volta region have experienced yet another tidal wave which swept through the whole community. Most homes and properties were destroyed. According to a resident of the area, Bright Agbeko, the only school in the area has totally been destroyed by the tidal wave. He explained that the temporary structure being used by the pupils has also been washed away by the waves. Bright is appealing to government to, as a matter of urgency, construct a sea defense wall since the community is not considering relocating to a new site being proposed by the municipal assembly.
Yesterday was very already the land is gone. The sea has carried the major part of the land. What's left now? The sea is about to enter join the river border. So about when most of the whole place was coming. So the school is gone. It's left with the death of the sea. So can you say about relocation? There are some nearby villages which might also be affected. So what we want the government now is to come and construct a immediate defense. Just to protect all those villages and Puvema. That's what the government is about. For our houses, most of them are in the sea. But the reason why I'm highlighting on the school is that, we have a lot of people around here, and they are going without it. The nearby villages are the sea, and it's very far. They cannot go to school. Some are very young. They cannot walk to access it every day.
Meanwhile, the MP for Anglo Clement Kofi Humado is not in favor of a sea defense wall as an immediate solution to the rampant tidal waves in Puvema and its environs. He says the immediate solution for the people will be for them to be relocated.
As the member of parliament of what they are going through, but not very much in agreement on their decision for a sea defense wall, because I don't think that would be the immediate solution. Normally, by international standard, if there is a threat of human life, whether by fire or by a windstorm or by cyclone or typhoon, you have to evacuate the people out of harm's way. You do that first before you try to deal with the cause of the problem. So we have been telling them that, look, the best thing to do is to relocate you from where you are, because it is very dangerous to continue to live there. So if we really relocate you, then government will have the time and the opportunity to consider the options of solving the problem.
He said the assembly is faced with the challenge of sourcing funds for the sea defense wall to be built. Ivy Setoji for Joy News, Puvema.
Now imagine having your business fortunes dwindle because of the lack of knowledge to keep up with modern trends. That's the plight of 43-year-old Al-Hassan Sumaila, a mechanic at Kumasi's largest auto mechanic center, the Swami Magazine.
Al-Hassan is one of many auto mechanics at the center who fear they may soon be jobless following the increase in the number of vehicles with complex features. Mahmoud Mohammed Nuruddin has more.
This is where thousands of school dropouts have found themselves trying to make a living. Almost all the time, things get difficult here, but sometimes they get busy depending on the number of vehicles they have to work on.
Al-Hassan Sumaila. Me started school, me go school, primary school to middle school, and we last form 4. Na school is not bomb whole modern Accra and Casa. Mum koye late entrance, no comment as you know pass, and I come across Santima. Then so I say scanning and holding in you. Some of me a chebe 93, 94, some no. In the years I know I'm an own team, and I was a sad man.
I dropped out of school when I was in Form 4 because there was no money. Then I decided to be a mechanic. I've been in this job for 26 years.
My feet of a neck will come about 26 years on my feet. And I report my poem, who's been 16 years in a baha.
Al-Hassan Sumaila started life well as an auto mechanic, but things are gradually getting bad and worse by the day. He is among thousands of mechanics who cannot diagnose complex electronic setting in a vehicle.
Computer automatic, computer manual system, a free and automatic one, manual.
Most of the vehicles are now automatic. They are fading out the manual ones in the system. One needs to be educated to work on automatic vehicles. Things are really getting bad.
Automatic, a free system, and I'm saying a yachano and old system and as we assistant.
Reporting for Joy News, Mahmoud Mohammed Nuruddin.
Now, gospel musician and host of Worship Zone on Joy FM, Nettie, has been laid to rest after a solemn final funeral rites at the forecourt of the State House here in Accra.
But Nettie died on the 15th of July. Family and friends described him as an affable and a principled man who had love for God.
Yes, I long to worship you.
In honor of their friend and colleague, some musicians in the gospel industry graced the stage with solemn performances. It was an emotional sight to behold as people danced to song ministrations by Joe Metal amidst tears. Until his demise, Nettie was host of Worship Zone on Joy FM. Director of Programs Kofi Ansah read a tribute on behalf of Joy FM and the Multimedia Group.
Danny joined the Multimedia family in the year 2010 to host a contemporary gospel program which he named the Worship Zone. I remember Danny's silky and baritone voice on that Sunday afternoon when he first turned on the microphone to say, "Hello, my name is Nettie, and this is the Worship Zone." He would later describe that experience to me as a bumpy ride. But he said, "I'm excited about this opportunity to share my gift with the entire world through this medium." Danny was diligent and would prepare so well for his show because he considered leading nations in worship through the medium of radio as being the most important job on earth.
Tributes read by his siblings, nephews and nieces, Accra Old Boys, Elim Church where he led worship, and on behalf of his mother spoke highly of Nettie's affable personality and principled nature. Musicians Neo Kai, Teddy Zaro and Pastor Isaiah Ofusukwache sang a song they specially composed to bid farewell to their friend, colleague and mentor while his body was being carried away for interment at the Osu Cemetery.
Now that you've gone, I know the fight is over and your rest has just begun. You've
and a rather solemn ceremony.
Yes, it was a really solemn.
I don't know, how was it for you? I know you were a bit close to him.
It was really emotional, and I couldn't believe it that he was laying there. It was a real struggle for me, attending the funeral of someone I admired and loved so much, and then having to work at the same time. So I had to wear my professional jacket and gather my emotions and put myself together. It was really difficult.
Well, God knows
the
best.
The fate of every man, isn't it?
Indeed, God knows best. So we'll see how it goes. But that'll be it for the news. Time now for the newspaper and online reviews. And indeed, like Bernice always says, if you need to get interactive with us, the handles on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram are
Joy News on TV and on WhatsApp. You can send us a message on the number 0560-800,000. It could be a video, it could be a photo, anything that you'd like to share with the rest of the world.
Time now for the news review.